Okay, I had somebody write me an email and ask me about the right way to drain the filter caps on this Carvin Vintage 16 amp, and I thought since I had one here on the bench opened up, this would be a real good time to just do a video here and show you how that is done, so you don't hurt yourselves out there when working on these things. The way I've got this set up right now is I've just got an open chassis here, and it's in the on position right now, so it's charged up. And I've got a voltmeter set up with the ground lead for that voltmeter attached to a power transformer bolt, so it's grounded to the chassis. And I've got the red test lead here for that I'm going to apply to the B+ terminal on this chassis, which is right here at QC2. Okay, now here I'm going to turn the switch off, so the amp is off, and I'm going to touch the probe to the terminal, and you can see the voltmeter up here, and you can see how voltage remains in those capacitors after it's turned off. The amp is now off, and I'm touching the probe, and we're showing well, right now about 60 volts. Now it's dropping, and so you can see it drop. It drops off actually fairly quickly. It gets down to around 20, in the high 20 range, and it hangs around there for a while. So now, but that's still, we want to drain that out before we start working on an amp like this. So how the best to do that? Well, I'll show you. Okay, what I used to do this, a little homemade tool I've made up here. It's just a length of wire with some insulated alligator clip-ons on either end of that wire, and some resistance in the middle here, and we want some resistance to for that current as it leaves the capacitor. Just be a little kinder on those capacitors as compared to just a straight wire would be. The value is not super critical. I've used a 10K 1-watt resistor on this and covered it with heat shrink tubing, but again, the value is not super critical. We just need some resistance there, and 10K will do just fine. What we're going to do is connect this up, where we're going to connect one of these alligator clips first to a good chassis ground. Alright, that's the first step, to the chassis. And there we go. And in this amp we got actually several choices of where to connect it besides the transformer bolts, which are also a good chassis ground. We've got a couple of spots right here that Carvin has provided for circuit grounds, and I've just grabbed one of those. And the other end I'm going to take and just connect to this back to this QC2 B+ terminal on the PCB, and there we go, it's connected. And we could take, of the meter still connected, we could take to verify that we've drained that down to 0. We could take the test lead, apply it back to that terminal again, which I'm doing there, and as you can see on the meter, we're at 0 volts. So it's now, those capacitors are drained. It's safe to work on as it is. You could leave that connected while you're working if it's not in the way, and that's fine. A lot of guys like to do that. Just remember to remove it before you turn the power back on. If you don't, you're going to burn up that wire and that resistor. Anyways, that's it. That's all there is to it. Pretty simple, huh? But it's something that you should be doing before you work on these amps.